The next morning, I thought it was going to be another quiet day. I had no idea that one of my neighbors was about to invite us to visit his durian farm. I got to see young durian trees, pick up freshly fallen durians, and experience a very traditional Vietnamese housewarming party. So, let's get started. It looked like it was about to rain. The weather here can change very quickly. So, we started the morning by moving the excavator into the yard before the rain came. My brother and I were heading over to where the excavator was parked. Agriculture is one of the main ways people make a living around here. So, seeing coffee farms and other crops along the road is completely normal. My brother was talking to a neighbor, asking if we could park the excavator at his place for a while.
Mưa quá bà chủ ạ.
After that, we headed back home to get everything ready for the housewarming party that afternoon.
Đây là toàn Sài Gòn. Đấy đây em. Có nhà mấy sao mấy sao.
Nói nghe rõ là buồn cười đó nè.
For a gathering like this, a typical table usually has 4 to 6 main dishes, along with some fruit. My friend had hired people to prepare the food, so there wasn't actually that much work for us to do. Later that day, we went for a walk around the area, and one of our neighbors invited us into his garden. He grows young durian and coffee plants. This is where the durian trees begin. It will take several more years before these little trees start producing fruit. Now, he's taking me down into his garden to show me around. At first, the garden looks a little chaotic. There are so many different kinds of plants growing together. But he explained that there was actually a reason for this. Different plants need different amounts of sunlight, so growing them together helps him make better use of the space. And there is another advantage. If one crop has a bad season, the others can help make up for the lost income. That way, he can have something to harvest throughout the year instead of relying on just one crop.
Sầu riêng này trái nhiều quá. Cái gớt này, mấy cái này là nó bị hư hả chú? Cái đó là nó rụng còn non nó rụng cuốn nha, không phải là rụng hư.
Some durians are picked from the trees when they're almost ripe. But when we're just picking them up to eat, we usually look for the ones that have fallen naturally.
Trời ơi, thơm quá trời thơm, Hiểu ơi. Dạ.
There's even a funny saying in Vietnam, if a durian falls naturally, people joke that it didn't need any chemicals to ripen. My neighbor also showed me how to tell if a durian is a good one.
Ồ. Nha, trái này là nó rụng lại, trái này là ăn được hả chú?
Không, tại bướm trước là nó rụng nhiều lắm, nhưng mà bướm kia là không được. Bướm này sầu riêng, đi lên đây cũng được, sầu riêng không rồi. Bỏ đó đi.
Dạ.
Bỏ cái quả nó đi xíu.
And look at this tree. I think this is one of the most heavily loaded durian trees I've ever seen.
Không muốn quay là rút vô trong nó rạc, sầu riêng nay bữa nay hình như đâu có 4 mấy nghìn chứ mấy mà không còn quả.
As we walked around, he kept telling me little stories about how he takes care of the trees and how he helps them grow well. Coffee is everywhere around Dak Nong, but this was my first time actually walking through a coffee farm like this. There are also a lot of pepper plants grown around here.
Chừng 12 giây là hay nói tôi ngưng liền.
Cứ ngay là lượm về mà ăn kìa.
Dạ.
Lượm quả nào lớn á.
After walking around the garden, my neighbor gave us a few durians to take home. I'll save those for tomorrow morning. I really like roads like this. Not too many cars, just the wind and the trees. After spending so much time in the city, it's nice to slow down for a while.
The best time. Ooh.
As the evening started to fall, people began arriving. There were older people, young kids, and neighbors who had known each other for years. What I liked most about a housewarming party like this wasn't really the new house. It was seeing how many people took the time to come and celebrate together. Most people would bring a small gift for the family, and quite often, that gift was beer. I don't really drink alcohol, so I just found other things to do. After dinner, everyone stayed around for some fruit, talked, and eventually started singing karaoke. It was one of those simple evenings where everyone just sat around together and enjoyed the night. Since everyone stayed up pretty late last night, we ended up waking up a little later than usual. These are the durians my neighbor gave us yesterday. Now, it's time to see what's inside. After watching my aunt open one, I decided to show off a little and try opening this big one myself.
Dạ.
Con không?
Ngon, ngon, ngon.
After struggling with it for a while, my brother eventually had to step
Cái
in,
khe của nó đâu.
and finally, we got it open.
Với lại thường á, quả này nó mới rụng á,
Nó còn cứng đó ngoài.
nó còn cứng, với lại nó ăn như làm muối ngon. Đến tối ăn là ngon.
Trời ơi, bự.
It was really sweet, with none of that bitter taste. Honestly, it was really good. In the afternoon, we headed down to Nghia city center. We wanted to take Gon out for a walk and let him relax after spending most of the day at home. Compared to Saigon, this place is much smaller. But as the afternoon went on, the square started getting pretty busy. Families were out together, people were walking around, and the whole place felt surprisingly lively. Tonight was my last night here, so we decided to invite the neighbor who showed us around his garden yesterday to have coffee with us. He even brought his family along. We sat together, had some coffee, and talked about the time I spent here. Before leaving, I asked him if he would take me along one day and let me help him in the garden. He said yes, so maybe this won't be my last visit after all. 2 days in Dak Nong went by much faster than I expected. I came here just to attend a housewarming party, but in the end, what I'll remember most are the people I met along the way. The gardens, the conversations, and how welcoming everyone was. Maybe that's what I'll remember most about Dak Nong.